Hello everyone, a warm and cordial welcome to all of you on the behalf of KBM classes. I myself B. Tripathi welcoming all of you to your English class, and today we are going to discuss about English determiners or determinatives. First we should look at the definition of determiners or determinatives. A determiner is used at the beginning of a noun group or noun phrase, and the last word in the group is a noun. This noun is fixed or determined by the word that precedes it. That is why it is called a determiner. So the word determiner, it has come from the English verb determine. Determine means calculate precisely, or settle, or decide. The meaning of determine is an English verb which means calculate precisely or settle or decide. So which calculate precisely or settle or decide. So which word in the sentence settles or decides something is known as determiner or determinative. Look at the following sentences. In the sentences and the underlined words in the sentences written above, all are determiners. A boy danced at the function. They went to an exhibition. The bus left for Bhubaneswar. Many animals graze here. These trees have been planted by him. He does not waste much time. So the underlined words in the sentences written above are called as determiners or determinatives. So mark the underlined words in the sentences written above. Each of the words is followed by a noun. Each underlined word together with the noun that follows forms a noun group or noun phrase. The underlined words are determiners. So we can say determiners show how the nouns following them are used. So determiners are showing or they decide how the nouns that follow them can be used. So let us discuss briefly about noun phrase. Point number 1. Whether a one-word noun, a pronoun or a noun with another word used before it in the subject part, it is always called a noun phrase or a noun group. Point number 2. A noun phrase functions like a noun. Point number 3. There can be noun phrase in the predicate part also. A noun phrase that occurs in the predicate part can be objects of verbs or prepositions. It can be a complement also. And the last point is whether in the subject part or the predicate part, wherever a noun phrase occurs, it must contain a noun which is known as the head word of the noun phrase or noun group. As you all know, a sentence consists of two parts, subject and predicate. So a noun phrase can occur in both the subject and predicate part. It may be a one-word noun, and a noun phrase may be a pronoun. It may be a noun with another word used before it in the subject part. It is always called a noun phrase or a noun group. A noun phrase functions like a noun. That means the functions of a noun and the functions of a noun phrase is same. Point number 3. There can be noun phrase in the predicate part also. So a noun phrase can occur in the predicate part. A noun phrase that occurs in a predicate part can be objects of verbs or prepositions. It can be a complement also. So the noun phrase which occurs in the predicate part of a speech or a sentence, that may be a preposition, an object of the verb, and it can be a complement also. And point number 4, if we analyze this point shows that whether in the subject part or in the predicate part, whenever the noun phrase occurs or the noun phrase situates itself in the subject part or maybe in the predicate part, it always contains a noun and it is the head word of the noun phrase or noun group. So let us see the basic characteristics or features of determiners or determinatives. English determiners belong to a closed lexical category in English. In English grammar, closed classes are those classes who adds new words to their category very rarely or infrequently. That means in the closed class or in the closed lexical category fall pronouns, determiners and conjunctions. Fall under the closed lexical category in English. That means very rarely and infrequently add new words to their forms, and they are generally simple and does not inflect. Inflect means change in the form of a word for a grammatical function or attribute. Typically, tense or mood. So, if we summarize, we can see that English determiners or pronouns or conjunctions, they all fall into the closed lexical category in English, and they are usually simple and does not inflect. Inflect means change in the form of a word for a grammatical function or attribute, typically tense or mood. That means very rarely and infrequently add new words to their forms, and they are very simple and in their forms for a grammatical function or attribute. Point number 2, their position is at the beginning of a noun phrase and before any modifiers. Modifiers means adjective or adverb. Adjective or adverb. That means the position of determiners or determinatives is at the beginning of a noun phrase or an adjective or an adverb. We can say determiners or determinatives are generally used in a sentence before a noun or a noun phrase or a noun group, or before an adjective or an adverb. Point number 3, determiners are usually definite or indefinite, and they often agree with the number of the head noun. If we are going to analyze this point, here are the two words, definite or indefinite. That means determiners are usually definite or indefinite. Definite means they can specify a thing or a person or a commodity or a good, and indefinite means they cannot specify or they do not specify a particular thing or person or good or commodity, and they often agree with the number of the head noun. The noun, here number means singular or plural. Singular or plural. That means determiners or determinatives always agree with the singular number or plural number of the head noun. That means the noun in the sentence, in which form or in which number it is situating in the sentence, the determiners agree with the number of the head noun. That may be singular or that may be plural, and it may be definite, or we can say it may specify a particular person or thing, or it may be indefinite. That means it cannot indicate or it cannot specify a person or a thing or a goods or commodity. and finally they are usually simple and does not inflect. And then Harold Edward Palmer, born on 6th March 1877 and died on 16th of November 1949, who was an English linguist as well as phonetician and grammarian, made concept more specific in 1924. That means in 1924, a clear picture of determiners or determinatives came by Harold Edward Palmer, who was an celebrated English linguist, phonetician and grammarian. He wrote, to group with the pronouns all determinative adjectives, articles like demonstratives, possessives and numerals, that means ordinals and cardinals, etc., shortening the term to determinatives, the determinatives of the French grammarian. The French grammarians called it determinatives. The pronunciation, pay attention towards it, determinatives. Firstly, because there are divergent opinions as to whether they are adjectives or pronouns, and secondly, because most of the members of this category may be used indifferently as pronouns or as modifiers or nouns. That means Mr. Harold Edward Palmer, he brought a clear picture of determinatives and he has described two reasons behind it. The first reason is there are divergent opinions as to whether they are adjectives or pronouns. You remember that some determinatives can be used as determinatives, or they can be also used as adjectives, or they can be used as pronouns. So Mr. Edward Palmer, he said that all these pronouns, adjectives, articles, that may be definite article or indefinite article, all should be categorized into one concept, that is determiner or determinative. And the second reason is because most of the members of this category may be used indifferently as pronouns or as modifiers or nouns. That means we can use, or the reader of English grammar can use determinatives in divergence of approaches. That may be used as a pronoun, that can be used as a modifier, that means adverb or adjective, or that can be used as pronouns. So all these categories, all these concepts should be come under one category or one concept, that is determiner or determinatives. Mr. Harold Edward Palmer cleared the specific concept of determinative in 1900. Finally, a book was published in 1985. The name of the book was A Comprehensive Grammar of the English Language, published in 1985. This book clearly depicts and clearly put the determinatives or the determiners into the lexical English grammar, into the lexical English grammar. The book was written by Randolph Quill, Sidney Lindbaum, Geoffrey Leach and John Bartik. This book was published in 1985, and the book entitled A Comprehensive Grammar of the English Language. Finally, clearly it defined determinatives and it put determinatives into a distinct lexical English grammar. So today we discussed about the definition of determinatives, the historical emergence and historical background of determinatives, how the concept of determinatives come into existence, and the characteristics and basic features of determinatives. In the next class, we will discuss about determiners in a great detail, about their classifications, on their various types, and everything regarding determinatives in a great detail. So see you